Miss it.
Come on, did you hear right? Come on, yeah, come on. It's like that. It's like that.
The outdoor diving pool at Kings Park in Durban was where the National Diving Championships took place recently. Julia Vincent is currently the only qualifier for the Paris Olympics in July and August with her impressive 9th place at the World Championships. Our commentator poolside is Justine Hadra.
And Bailey Hadra back on the board with a reverse 2.5 somersaults in the tuck position. Bailey also represented South Africa at the World University Games last year, where she did really well. And a good dive from Bailey.
1.5, 6.5, 6, 8, 7, 6.
Beautiful height off the board, and I think she was being rewarded very generously by one of our judges, which has made her smile.
Julia, for 2.5 somersaults plank, 2.4.
Julia Vincent back on the board. For 2.5 somersaults in the pike position, Julia will be competing at the super final of the World Cup in China, literally straight after this competition. And as we've had 3 rounds of competition today, she's decided to put in an easier dive to save her back, as she's currently being plagued with an injury in her lower back region, and she still has a very long plane trip to conquer. And Nele beginning the 5th round of dives. This is a forward 3.5 somersaults in the tuck position. Anele is really learning to try and use the diving board to help him with his height, and it is a work in progress, and he is really getting there bit by bit. Isabella is beginning our final round of dives in the women's 3-meter final, and let's see what she can do. This is the back 1.5 somersaults with 1.5 twists. And a reasonably good ending for Isabella.
5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 4.5, 5.5.
Tana Proudfoot up on the board. Her final dive will be a reverse 2.5 somersaults in the tuck position. It's always nice for a diver to end on a good dive. I think it makes you optimistic and you get out feeling good about yourself. So let's hope that Tana has one of those. Oh, I jinxed her. So Tana unfortunately will have to restart her dive, and she will be deducted 2 marks per judge for the restart. Well done to Tana for putting that dive in after the restart.
4.5, 5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5.
It's always very unnerving for a diver. Nobody wants to have a restart. but rather a restart than a failed dive. Catherine's last dive will be a back twister. It's a back 1.5 twister. And a very nice bottom of that dive.
6, 6, 5.5, 5.5, 6, 5.5, 6.
And I think she will be happy with ending on that dive. Gemma will be competing the same dive as Catherine. Gemma and Catherine have been diving together since they were little. And they both go to St. Stithians Girls College. And a fantastic ending for Gemma. She has had a great final this afternoon, and I think she will be so excited with how she's dived. Kira Manaka back on the board with her final dive, also a back 1.5 somersaults with 1.5 twists. And a good ending for Kiritile.
6, 5.5, 6.5, 5, 5.5, 6, 6.
Grace Brammer up on the board. She will be doing a reverse twister. We've just seen a back twister. This will be a reverse 1.5 somersaults with 2.5 twists. Grace has always enjoyed twisting dives. Each diver has a firm favourite in the grouping. And a fantastic last dive for Grace Brammer, putting in a beautiful vertical entry and being rewarded for that.
5.5, 6.5, 6, 6.5.
And a great ending for her. Bailey Davenport up on the board with a back 2.5 somersaults in the tuck position.
Back 2.5 somersaults tuck, 2.8.
A little bit over on the bottom, but a lovely top from Bailey.
4, 4, 4.5. 5, 4, 4.5, 4.
Kerry Lee Morrison will be ending with a reverse 2.5 somersaults in the tuck position.
Reverse 2.5 somersaults tuck, 2.8.
It's been lovely at this Nationals to see all of our overseas divers back and competing. And that's a nice ending for Kerry, a little bit splashy on the bottom,
3.5, 4.5,
unfortunately, which will affect her scores.
4, 3.5.
Salika Matula back on the board with a back 2.5 somersaults in the pike position. This has a big degree of difficulty of 3.0. And it's great to see our juniors starting to tackle these bigger dives. A little bit short on the bottom, but she had a beautiful top and she's been rewarded for that.
5-5.
Bailey Hager's last dive will be a forward 2.5 somersaults with 1 twist. This has a degree of difficulty of 3.0.
2.5 somersaults, 1 twist, pike position 3.0.
A bit splashy on the bottom, but managed to get the dive in, and luckily still got marks in the satisfactory range, as she did have a good top on that dive.
5-5. And our final competitor in the women's event from Central County and Paddocks, Julia Vincent. Forward 2.5 somersaults, 1 twist, pike position 3.0.
And Julia's last dive, and no doubt this will send her off to the Olympics. And another exceptional dive from our Olympian Julia Vincent. We wish her all the best of luck as she competes for South Africa in August in Paris and flies our flag high. Anele Ntembu for his final dive on the board, a forward 2.5 somersaults in the pike position. And a lovely finish for Anele. That's a great dive from him, and he will be very happy to end the day off with that.
6-6-6. And that completes the men's junior final. Well done, diver. Thank you, judges. Katarina.
And that concludes the men and women 3-meter final. Over the next weeks, we'll feature more classic dives from the 3-meter semis and finals. You've been watching Super Swimmer. I'm Derek Alberts. Till next time, stay safe.